Hello, beautiful people. It's the new features of PowerPoint 2019 365. Um, so I'm going to take you guys through all of the newer features. I'm going to start off with a presentation that I already have. And the first new feature I want to quickly look at, guys, is the design ideas. Now, in my previous PowerPoint session, I did mention about design ideas. So it's simple. You just select a slide, and in your home ribbon button, you can just click on design ideas, and a little sidebar will open, and it will give you some design ideas. In the slide, I've got bullet points. So yeah, I can select this type of slide, which will then add in those bullet points in images and so on as well. So it's also got a built-in AI, so it will pick up certain words and it will organize it in that way. So as you can see, it already put in something for sales, technical support, the little guy sitting there with a microphone and so on. And education, you cannot see it automatically puts that image in. So there's a bit of artificial intelligence built in. So even if I should go say, add in a new slide, and I should type in, let me go with cold winter, right? And then it will automatically also find slides on cold winter. So there you can see there the second time around it found the slide there. So it will automatically add in things. So if you say computer and so on, you can easily go into design ideas and it will automatically find certain things that will be useful to you. Make use of the built-in AI as well. And it works in terms of from slide to slide. As you put in your different content, you can just select those ones. Now, besides the design ideas, I'm just going to close this down. You can also work with, as you can see, I've got this little image here. You can also work with, they call it scalable vector graphics, right? Or SVG images. It's not like complex images like your raster-based images, right? So what that means is if I take this image and I stretch it out, you can see it's not pixelating at all. Uh, so on top of that, PowerPoint makes use of certain tools on it as well. So similar to that of Keynote, and Keynote's been doing this for quite a long time. If I go to if I select my image, you will see automatically it will give me a contextual tab. Now the contextual tab is normally based on the type of image that you select or object that you select. So if I go here, you can see that I can even change the color of it, no problem. I can even change the transparency of it, which in the previous PowerPoint wasn't as smooth as it was. It used to pixelate quite a bit if you stretch it out and so on. Something minor, but it's something useful as well. On top of that, we also have, when we're doing screenshots and so on, normally what people do as a screenshot, especially when it comes to the Mac, they will use a shortcut key. So you will go in here and you would, if you checked out our other videos, you will go Command Shift 4, Command Shift 5. So if I take a screenshot, say, of that background there, and this is one of the backgrounds inside of Pixar, and then I have my uh, screenshot sitting there in the back, right? But I don't actually need to do that, right? So I'm gonna delete these quickly. There we go. So inside of my presentation, I've got the screenshot button. So say for instance, I'm just gonna create a new slide here and change my layout. So I'm gonna go with that one. So yeah, I'm just gonna go into my insert button, screenshot, and yeah, it gives me the items that I can use for my screenshot. That's part and parcel. That's my windows and so on. That's open. But then yeah, I can just go screen clipping, and now as soon as I select the screenshot or the part of the screen that I want to take as a screen clipping, it will automatically put it into my slide. Okay, so you don't need to go outside, save things, and do all of those things and take all of those steps, put all of those steps in. So here you can see it even gives it to me inside of my built-in ideas, how I want to organize my image and so on. So that is another nice feature built in. Another tool that's been brought into PowerPoint is the draw tool. And guys, the draw tool is um, pretty useful when it comes to just doing just hand drawings inside of a slide and so on. And yeah, I'm just going to add in a, a new blank slide. And say, for instance, I just want to quickly use the drawing tools. I can just go in, select my pens. I can even add additional pens. And on top of those pens, if I do a secondary click or right click on it, I can modify the tool, change the color, change the effects, add in more colors, work with the different types of nibs that I want for my pen and so on. Uh, Also, I've got my, now that I'm on my drawing tool, I can just go ahead and start drawing away or writing away, you see. So I can write away, I can draw little shapes and so on. Uh, then I can also go ahead and use the eraser and erase those things as well. But on top of that, as you can see, I've got these different tools here as well. So I can highlight the text, and then I can actually turn it from handwritten text to typed text. So if I should now go, and I'm just gonna jump out of my drawing tool, I can click on my draw tool or just hit the escape key. And now I can select that text and now just say ink to text and give it a couple of seconds and it will automatically convert it. And even if I should select, say, this shape here, and I say ink to shape, and then it will automatically turn it into a square. Even if if you want to be fun and you want to draw certain complex shapes, I even tested it out with that. It will take that into consideration as well. So if I should say draw a star, and I hit the escape key and I highlight that shape and I say into shape. There we go. So you can become pretty creative when it comes to the drawing tool as well. Now I've shown you guys that tool, but inside of PowerPoint 2019, you've got an awesome tool. This is something that a lot of people were making a big fuss about. I'm just going to add in another slide for this one. And with this, you can put in 3D models, right? So if I go to my insert button, under my insert button, you'll see that there's 3D models. If I click on my 3D models button, it will open the sidebar, and that gives me different 3D models. So I can just go in and say, for instance, I want to type in or add in this emoji. It gives me different emojis. So I'm just going to select that one there and insert. So here I can choose different views to it. So I can give from the side, right from the back, bottom, top, etc. Or I can just click and hold in the button in the middle and drag it to any position that I want. Okay. I can also, maybe this is not a good image. So let me select a different one. So I can go with, let me go with, check this out, guys. If I type in, there we go. So it gives me 3D models of computers. So if I select that and insert that one, and I can move it around. I can do the same thing, check the different sides out, show it from different angles. I can even go into you will see that it gives me a 3D model contextual tab. I can go to pan and zoom, and here I can zoom in and out. And in my zoom, I can move it to uh, different angles. So if I only want to see that part, and so on. So you've got so many things to work with when it comes to this. But guys, on top of that, I want to show you this. So on top of that, if I go to, let me delete that, inside of my 3D models, you also have 3D animated models. So if I go to my 3D models, you will see that there are these three categories here. So if I go into it, it will give you 3D animated models. So if I take, say, this one of the T-Rex and I insert that one, it takes a while to insert it, of course, based on your internet speed. This is on a 20 meg line, guys, so you can see how quickly it runs even from a 20 meg line. So if you've got faster, it will definitely bring it in faster. And here you can see there's a T-Rex walking. I can also move it around, right? I can pan and zoom it, pan and scale it as well. So you've got those features and you can play and pause it, etc. The only thing about adding in 3D animations is that it's pretty large. It starts off at about, say, 25 megs and goes all the way upwards. So when you add it in, just take that into consideration, but it can really, really um, uh, uh, make your presentation way more better. So that is the 3D animations or 3D modeling. Now, one of the things that you know, a lot of the us keynote guys would make fun of was that the fact that we could do certain animations in the transitions. You know, we had the move transition, and we had um, the transition where it goes from one slide to the next in an animation. But now with PowerPoint, you also have the same thing. So I'm quickly going to show you guys this, but it's just, they kind of enhanced it a little bit. So I'll show you guys what I mean. So yeah, I'm going to have two slides. I'm just going to duplicate this one. Okay, so I've got these two slides here. And in my first slide, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in a quick shape. So I'm going to put a square in this one. Oh, that was my second slide. Let me make it easier. I'm going to delete this one. I'm going to take the first slide, and then I'm going to duplicate the slide with the shape in it already. Okay. So I've got now two slides with the same shape. But in my second slide, I'm going to move it to the bottom right-hand corner. And on top of that, I'm going to turn it. Okay. Now I've got those two slides. Now, if I go to my slide at the top, I can go to my transitions and I can select the morph. Then you can see it automatically animates smooth transition from the one to the other. Okay. So it's always on the second one where you put in the transition. Okay. But now say for instance, I decide that I want to now change the shape. So if I take that out and I'm going to put in another shape, and I'm going to put in this time a star. Okay, so there I've got my shape. If I should now run that transition again, we go to this one, and say if I run Morph again, you will see it just jumps from the one to the other shape. There's no smoothness. Okay, it just goes boom, boom. But now, say I want to now change it to be a smooth operation from the one to the other. Then what I will do is I will go to my home button. Under my arrange button, I go to selection pane. So under my selection pane, it will give me the name of my shape. Then that name of that shape, you just need to, and this is something that you just need to take into account, you must use the double exclamation point and just give it a simple name. So I'm going to call it shape. And this one here, I'm going to give the exact same name. Okay, so now that I've done that, I can now easily, If I should run that transition again, then you will see that it will actually easily flow from the one to the other. Okay, so you can do it with images, you can do it with other items too. It's just with the shapes, it becomes the animation becomes so much easier. And so if you've got multiple, you can do it one to the other and it looks fantastic. Okay. Um, Now, another cool tool that you can also use that's actually built into your other applications like Excel and Word as well is the dictation and translation. Okay, so say for instance, I'm just going to add in another slide. So yeah, if whenever you're adding text into a slide, guys, it's just simply double click. So if I double click, it will just add in text. If you've never done dictation on PowerPoint as yet, you will find it under the edit or menu item button. And there we go. It's started dictation. The shortcut key is double control key. Okay, if you hit it twice, it will automatically do the dictation. But of course, you first need to put in a text box. So if I hit my double control key, so this is how we can add in text into a slide, full stop. Okay, so there, it even picked up okay. So there we've got our text, but now I can even go as far as doing the translation. So now if I go to my review button, under my review button, we have translation. And now from translation, we can go from one language to the other. So if I now go auto detect, that is in English anyway, but now I can switch it over to say, I put it in Afrikaans. There we go, there's the text selected and there it gives it to me in Afrikaans. Okay, so now I can go ahead and insert it. It will automatically change that text to Afrikaans. And, oh, okay, that's how you spell okay in Afrikaans, believe it or not. So now if I want to now change it across, then all I do is I can just switch, click on those arrows and then insert, and it will revert it back to the other way that it was. So guys, these are some of the newer features that's been added on. Oh, by the way, there's another update. I saw that it's now put in Zoom as well. Let me quickly show you guys this. This is actually pretty cool because you can, I'm just gonna see if it's gonna work for this. So if I should select multiple slides, there's insert button, they put in the zoom button, then I can say zoom summary. Okay, in fact, I'm gonna go with this. Okay, let me start zoom summary. So if I say zoom summary, then what it will do is it will actually put the slides together under one slide, right? So if I say insert, now you will see that it comes up like this, put all 4 slides in that manner. So now if I should play it, and then if I click on the one, it will zoom into that one, and I can zoom out as well. So it will zoom in and it will zoom out every time. They just added this one in, but you can even change your zoom. I'm just gonna undo that. If I go to my insert button again, and I go to zoom, I can make zoom a section. So here you guys can see that I've got different sections. I've got an introduction section, a department section, and so on. Let me show you guys how to add in sections first. So I've got a department section there. So I've got my departments. So say for instance, I want to add in another section between my departments. I'm going to call it sub-departments. But say if I want to put it there, I click between the slides, you'll see that there's a blinking red line, right? And I can then go to my home button and say section, add section, or simply just do a secondary click and add a section there. So when I add in a section, I can give it a name. So I'm going to call this sub department. So what makes sections good? It's similar to that you would do on Keynote. You can minimize these sections, and you can work with certain sections while the other ones are totally collapsed. So similar to that, what you can do in Keynote. So guys, it's something that I've looked at when I was doing the research, and Zoom wasn't available, but I see it is there now. And under the version that you need to be on would be under version 16.43, right? If you guys not made the update as yet, you can go to your help button and check for updates before you even go into all of the new things that I've shown you. So that is my presentation for today, guys. I'm just gonna unshare my screen and then keep it open for questions.
I don't have a question. It just appears to me, though, that you either got to specialize in one or the other, because the amount of features on that thing are absolutely mind-boggling.
So guys, thank you very much for joining me. All of the best to you, and yeah, see you on Thursday.